Hi everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and today I want to show you guys 3 different ways that you can make a cluster. And if you could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell and you guys can see my next video when I post it, like, comment, and share, and let's grow together. Alright, so I had projects out today and papers everywhere and fabric everywhere and lace everywhere and everything everywhere, so I got it all piled around me, and this is a perfect day to show you guys how I do my clusters. And I'm going to give you guys 3 examples. I asked you the other day on a video if you guys would be interested to see how I do my clusters, and I got some responses, so I'll show you guys 3 different ways. Okay, so we're going to start with fabric. So you get some fabric, just any scrap kind of fabric, and what you do is make sure you have your fabric scissors, but I like to rip too because it gives us this cool just effect of just all of it frayed and stuff, and I think that's really neat. So you just start with a base, so any kind of material and however big you want it, but you know, just like that, just a little base. Okay. And then you just start looking at your stuff and seeing what you got and just start stacking it up. And what I'm going to use for this is glue. So I'm going to do Fabrifix glue on this one. And I just got it in my, and I've showed you guys this, but I'll show you again. Just a Sweet Sugar Bell piping container for icing. And I just stick it in here like that. And it's got a great little tip on it. So we're just going to glue these together, and it just needs a little dab in between. So just kind of grab your material and just start stacking it, and you can cut, do a little slit, and rip like that. And keep all these little threads because they're great. Those are going to come in handy in a minute. So just keep all your little threads that you have, or all little pieces that you pull off of material. I always keep all those, so I actually keep them all. And when I'm sewing, and I do a lot of sewing projects and stuff, so I just keep them because they make great clusters. Okay. Whoop. So then you just go to the next one. So I hope you guys are having a crafty day today and getting out all your little cluster supplies that you can play with, and any scraps or and then I'm going to show you guys 3 different ways, but you can always combine them all together too, because there's no wrong way to do a cluster. There really is not. Okay, and then just, you know, just kind of find colors that go well together, you know, that kind of feed off each other. So like this one's a good one just to throw on there, a little, just gluing it on. Okay. When you get it stacked as much as you want it, okay, it's always nice to do a little topper on top. Okay, so we got that stacked, and then I got the end of fabric here, or you can use any kind of fabric since these are going to be fabric clusters, but I'm going to make a bow out of this, if I can find the right end. And I'm just going to take it and do a loop. And then just another loop, like that. I'm just going to cut these ends long. I'm making them long on purpose, because I'd rather have them too long than not long enough, you know? And then you're going to take one of the ends here. So here, I'll show you again. So you just loop it, and then just loop it like that. Okay. So however you can get 2 loops, and then you just take your one end and wrap it around. Okay. So that's just one way to do like a cute little bow, and then you can kind of pull it and see how big you want your loops to be. So just bring this one in if you want it a little smaller. So you're pretty much just making 2 loops and then wrapping one end around like that. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to stick with the glue theme here. So I'm just going to take a little dab of glue and put it on the back here. And then fold that around like that. So I just glued it on the back. And this just makes a cute little bow. And then you could just trim it off, however short you want to do it. And the more imperfected they are, I think the cuter they look. So really, it does not need to be perfect. And then just go ahead and put your glue down. And there you go. There's one way to do a cluster. So that's just a fun fabric way to do it. And you don't have to do a bow in the middle. You can just keep the cluster just the way it was, and you don't have to put nothing on top. But I just thought that'd be a fun little touch to it. Okay, so there we go. So there's a fabric cluster, just like that. And you just make sure you have a base to start with. And there you go. So there's one. And then the second one I want to do for you guys is paper. We're going to do a paper one, yeah. We're just going to do paper. Okay. So we're just going to start with some scraps. Move our fabric out of the way. So now we're doing paper. Okay. You just grab whatever you have around. And this is just some avocado dyed paper. I can put the link down below on how I avocado and onion dye my paper. And I'll put that down below for you. And just some corrugated cardboard. You know, just some extra papers that I've used in projects. And then this is just a manila folder that I took my 1" and I just popped it out. So this can be a good base too. So this is a good thing maybe to start off with. And as you're working, and if this is just optional, you can do your oxides or your inks. And this one's just vintage photo. It's just a vintage photo. And I'm just doing a little bit of inking around. Okay, that might not even show, but still, I know I inked it. Okay, and then some just start stacking. It's that easy. Just kind of look at things, see how you want it. Now this, we're not going to glue. We're going to use a stapler. So I'm just showing you guys different ways to fasten them together and put them together. And like I said, all these you can combine together. You can do fabric with paper and, you know, do it like that. Okay, but for now, I'm just keeping them just fabric and then paper. Okay, and then if you want, just kind of grunge it up. Okay, so we're just going to stack here. And I like the ripped look. It's got a fun little look to it. And then we'll just get all the white little edges. Like that. Okay. And then just stack it on top. I just keep crisscrossing it. You know, just crisscross it however you want. And I love that. The little squares and stuff in it. So we don't really need to do much to this one. I guess we could ink it. Okay. So I'm just sticking it like that. And then we'll do a lighter one just on top here. All right. There we go. Okay, so then you just stack it like that. Now, what we're going to do is go ahead and staple it all together. So just however you want it, just grab them all up. You got your base in the back here. You just need something for it to, you know, stick onto. So I always start with some sort of base in the back. Okay. Or foundation, however you want to put it. And we're just going to take our stapler, just pop a staple. Just make sure you're catching them all. Which, that's why I crisscross them in the middle like that, so you are going to catch them. Okay, so I do that. And then I get a fun decal that I put on top. Just, I have my Cricut machine, and I take manila folders, and I just have images that I can cut out, just little silhouettes. And got the butterfly, got a little crow, a little cardinal here, so a little bird, which that could be kind of cute, and it's got a little heart punch out, but I can't, it gets so, it's such a tiny little heart, and it cuts it out. Like, I don't know how it does that, but it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and use, it's supposed to have like a twig or something in its mouth, but I don't like the way that's looking. So let's just pop that off of there. Okay, so I just got decals, so paper, stick them with paper. Some sort of paper for the theme. Okay. And I'm going to ink around it. Now this part, I'm going to go ahead, just to hide the staple, I'm going to stick a little dab of glue on the back of it. Because then we can hide that staple. Okay. Just like that. And voila. Like magic. So there you go. So that's paper. That's one way to do it. Okay. And then the next one I want to show you guys is, so that's the back of it, lace. Let's play with some lace. Okay. Now, with the lace, just got some fun little lace pieces here. And I want to do this on it, so I'll put that to the side. Same concept. We just want to start kind of with a base here. So this one is bigger. It might be too big, but we can make this cluster a little bigger. And I just kind of like to do it like this. Would be fun. To kind of just wrinkle it together like that. And you don't have to do this part, but this is just, I think it'd be a fun little base. Just kind of just wrinkle it together. And then what we're going to do with this is we're going to sew. So we're going to use sewing to stitch it all together. Okay. Just need a needle. And this is just my little rainbow thread. I just thought it'd be fun. That could be fun. Okay, so I'm just cutting a bunch off here. And my fingers. This is why it's nice to keep some wet wipes or something around, just to see if you can get, and if they get dry, just take your little spray. A little tip and trick here. So I'm trying to get some of that ink off my hands. I always wind up inking my hands more than anything. Okay. There we go. Now we're ready. So we're just going to go ahead and pop your needle through. And I'm going to double it up here. Like that. And then just tie a knot at the bottom. Just a regular old knot. Okay, and then we're just going to fan it. So accordion style here. Just kind of, just because I think this would be a fun little base. I'm just playing around, just see what you can do. Just making it up here. So let's see. So I'm just kind of anchoring it. Just going back and forth. Okay. And you can even wrap it around a couple times. And then pop it through again. Okay, so there we go. So we got just a cute little anchor, like a little bow. And I'm gonna keep it attached. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just start stacking here. And I don't know, this just seems too big. So like I said, the base might not even show, but at least I know I did it. So we're just gonna kind of crisscross everything, just kind of like with paper, and the same with fabric. Just kind of, I just keep making X's with it. And I have avocado dyed, like this one's avocado dyed. And I show in that video too how I do laces and fabric and stuff too. So you guys can come check it out with the avocado and the onion skin. So this one's avocado dyed, and then this one is my RIT dye that I use. So it's just RIT dye, and I use it for my tie-dye banner flags that I have in my Etsy shop. And I have some banners too, and then some of my little gift bags that I make for birthday parties and stuff. Little rainbow gift bags that are like stretchy and lycra. So I got those in there, so I use the RIT dye for that. So I figured I'd use it for some laces and some fabric and stuff that I use with my junk journals. So that's some of these colors you're seeing. Okay, so I just hand dye stuff. Okay, so go like that. And we're just making a little cluster here. There's no wrong. It's gonna be pretty thick though. Wah. Okay, and then we're gonna take our button, if we're not too thick here, but I think we should work out like that. So that's a fun little cluster. You know, there's just a little lace cluster. So you're just gonna pop back up through the bottom here. Try to find your hole. Okay. And then go through your hole and go through, down through the other hole. And you can use the table if you need to push through, but that wasn't that bad. Okay, and then just make sure you're catching everything, because you want it to stay together. So it wouldn't be bad to do it again. Oh, am I gonna find the hole? Probably not. I found it the first time like way too easy. There, oh, found it. And I'm just using the table, or you can have a thimble to do, but I'm just kind of pushing with the table to get it through. But you guys can do them a little thinner. You don't have to do them as thick as I did. And then just make sure you're catching the back here. And not doing that. What not to do. There we go. Okay. So I think that looks pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and tie it off. And I'll show you guys. You can either snip it up long and then tie it in double knots, you know, or you just go through, grab some fabric here, like that. And then you got yourself a loop, and just go through the loops like that, and then pull. I'll show you again. So you just pop it through like that. And then it's because it's doubled up, so it's hard to find the loops, but just get the loop. And then go through your loop and then pull. And then that ties a knot. Or just snip it up high and just tie double knots down. So either way you want to do it. All right, so we got ourselves a lace cluster, and I thought it'd be fun to take a bulb pin. And I just got some beads that I put on it, and I just pop the beads. I just take them and put the beads on and bring them around to the back here. So you just got yourself a little bulb pin. Okay, just a little safety pin. And I'm gonna take it and just clip it on anywhere. Any old where. And that just adds a little bit of something to it. Okay. And then there we go. So we got our lace. Got our fun lace cluster, and that's the back of it. So you just need some sort of, you know, foundation to start with, like that. And then you got yourselves a paper cluster. and a fabric cluster. So you guys can do them however you want. You can even, you know, take a paper cluster, add some fabric to it, add a little lace to it, and then glue the decal on top. Or you could, you know, do just the same, or add a button to the top of this, and then add the fabric over to the, you know, like that, or, you know. So you can mix these however you want, but those are the general building techniques that I usually do with my clusters. And oh yeah, I didn't even show you guys, but I wanted to do a little bit of thread here. Wow. So you could throw some thread in wherever you want. And what I would have put it underneath there, and I forgot to do that. But you just take it, just ball it. You can ball it up like this, or you can make a bow with it. Like just pull off the threads that are going to come off anyway, and just kind of see where you're at. And then you can just go like this. Same concept like I did with the fabric, and then just make yourself a little bow, and then just wrap it around like that. So yeah, just however you want. And then you can just take it and staple it on, glue it on, however you want to do it. But yeah, I would have done this just in a ball. Just kind of go like this with it. And just pinch it. And then I would have took the, you know, underneath the decal, go ahead and just, you know, you could put this, staple it, because you know it's staying, and then put the decal on top, you know. Just go ahead and just pop another, just a decal on top. So there you go. So you could do that and just throw some thread in there, which is kind of fun. And that's why I keep all this thread, or anything that I use with fabric, the pieces that come off, so you have all different colors throughout. And it just gives it a little texture and a little interest, you know. So that's definitely another way to do it. And I hope you guys found this informational, and you know, getting your clusters out and looking at your fabrics and looking at your laces and looking at your paper different, and just starting to stack them together. And there is no wrong way. There is, you know, no pressure. Just take it out, play with it, and just see what you come up with. And yeah, so if you guys like this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, and that really helps me out. And comment down below. I would love to hear how your guys' clusters came out and stuff. And if you would like to post pictures and put them onto my Snowstorm Crafts Facebook group, come check it out, and I'd really appreciate it. And keep on crafting, guys.